first ever Instagram IGTV tutorial, so bear with me. So first, as you can see from the beginning, I'm taking my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 01, and this is what I'm just going to put all over my eyes to make it prepped and primed. It really makes the eyeshadow stick as well. So I'm taking my Me, Myself, and Mama Mitchell palette, and I'm taking the shade, I'm just taking that shade Muse. It's a dark reddish brown shade, and I'm going to take this on a small round brush, and I'm just going to map out the shape that I want for my eye. Today I'm going to go with kind of a halo eye look, so I'm just stamping that in and really just working on the shape. This is the first shade. It's going to be one of the darker shades, so I'm not really worried about blending it out so much right now. I just am worried about packing on that shade and really getting the shape that I want for the eyeshadow. Then I'm going in with Mad, the reddish neon red shade. Sorry, you can't really see anything right here. And I'm going to be blending out that darker shade. So I'm just going in with a small fluffy brush right around the darker shade, and then I'm just blending it right in. And this is just going to kind of accentuate the eye shape. Then I'm going in with a yellow shade from the same palette. I'm taking Manchester on a big fluffy brush. This one's from It Cosmetics. And I'm just using this to blend out the eyeshadow all the way around. I'm actually blending up into my eyebrow. This is a technique I learned from watching P. Louise videos. And it really helps to just blend out the shadow and overall make it look really nice and blended together. And this is going to be the lightest shade, so that's why we're using the biggest sized eyeshadow brush. So then I'm just going back in with the darker shades. I'm first going in with Muse, just packing that back on, kind of building up the shade color so they don't get lost in the blending. And again, I'm doing this with the small rounded blending brush. Then I'm going in with the black from the palette, which is Mafia, just to really deepen up the edges, the outer corner and the inner corner, to kind of create the halo effect that I was going for. And I'm just using that same small round blending brush. Then I'm just blending it out, again with the same shades as before. First Muse, then I'm going to go in with Mad, and then Manchester just to blend everything out. Then I'm going in with the P. Louise Prime and Define metallic base in the shade Hooked Up. And I'm just patting that on the center of the lid with a flat eyeshadow brush. And it just started raining outside, so if you guys hear that, I apologize. But I'm just taking that on that flat brush. I'm almost cutting the crease in the halo effect. And then I'm going to be patting out the edges with my finger to make sure everything looks blended in. Then I did the other eye off camera, and I came back, and now we're going to start on the brows. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Soft Brown to really define my brows and kind of give them a shape. Then I go in with the Brow Wiz, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil in the same shade Soft Brown, to get that perfect shape that I want. And really just add like the hair-like strokes and all the details to my eyebrows. Now I'm just going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel just to set my brows in place. Then I'm taking the e.l.f. The Poreless Priming Putty, and I'm just going to press that into kind of my T-zone area on my face just to get the kind of fill in my pores and smooth out that area. Then I'm taking the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation in the shade Y225, and I'm just blending that all over my face with a damp beauty blender. I know this shade looks very yellow compared to my skin, but I have a lot of redness and rosacea, so I'm just trying to cover that up. Then I'm going in with a Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer in the shade Snow. I'm putting that underneath my eye and all over my problem areas. And again, just blending that out with a beauty blender. Then I'm going to set everything with my Huda Beauty setting powder. I use the shade Pound Cake. I really kind of focus it underneath the eyes and around my nose and chin with a small powder brush. And then I just take it on a big brush for the rest of my face. Then I'm taking the Marc Jacobs bronzing powder in the shade Tantastic, and I'm just taking that with my KKW bronzer brush all over my cheeks and my forehead. Then I'm taking the MAC blush in the shade Peaches, and I'm just focusing that on the apples of my cheeks and kind of bringing it back towards the temples of the face. Then I'm bringing in my Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics loose highlighter in the shade Extra. This is really blinding, but it looks really good on the face. Then I'm going back into the Me, Myself, and Mona Mitchell palette. First, I'm taking that darkest shade Muse and really focusing it close to the waterline. And then I'm taking the Mama Mad, the reddish color, to blend it out. And then finally, I'm taking that yellow color Manchester to really blend everything together between the lower lash line and my lid. Then I'm taking the Kat Von D tattoo liner, and I'm just doing a really thin line on my lash line, just to kind of blend it together when I put lashes on. Then I'm going into the ColourPop Aha Honey palette, and I'm taking that top shade in the middle right there, and I'm using that as my brow bone highlight, and I also use it in the inner corners for the inner corner highlight. Then I'm taking the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'm just going to coat my lashes with that. Then I'm going in with my Lily lashes in the style Miami. These are my favorite lashes. They make the lash look so voluptuous and really big. Then I'm going to go into lips. I'm using my MAC lip liner in the shade Burgundy. I do overline my lips to kind of give them a bigger appearance, so that's just what I'm doing here on the Cupid's bow. Then I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Uncensored. And I'm just going to apply this all over to my lips. And that is the finished look. Again, I'm sorry if this wasn't perfect and my background isn't really aesthetically pleasing, but, and then I finish it off with the Morphe setting spray. But I hope you enjoyed this short IGTV tutorial. I might upload it to my YouTube channel, and if so, I will link that in the description. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned some makeup tips and tricks.